Spot price of gold hit 1850 this morning, and after all my talk about not giving in to buying pressure, well, I gave in. So before I dazzle anybody with anything shiny, I just want to say that even though we're a full 10% down from gold's all-time high last month, and that's August, if you're watching this in the future, I don't think this is the bottom. I personally expect news of a successful vaccine to push the price of gold down from whatever level it's at the time. Now that level is going to depend heavily on the outcome of the election and a number of other factors, so it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to give an actual prediction. Maybe we'll see 1700s or even 1600s, and we might even see a lasting correction in gold until the euphoria of the vaccine and the economic restart wears off. Because most people's attention will be elsewhere. All right, I might dazzle you a little bit with some gold. But eventually, we're going to have to deal with the new debt, the overvalued stock prices, and possible inflation. And those are the factors that could lead up to realistic scenario of $3,000 gold. Who knows? I'm looking for good decisions, not perfect right now. And this coin, this morning, felt like a pretty good decision. There are really just too many factors in play to make an accurate prediction. And really, all of this assumes that we have a successful vaccine soon and nothing else bad happens in the meantime, because more bad news would actually mean that gold is just going to go up. So how about this gold? I grabbed a 2020 Canadian gold maple leaf. I've mentioned before that I don't schedule 1 ounce purchases. I buy them only when I think it makes sense. And at 1850, it felt like a little bit of a pivot point. I picked up a little bit of a dip on a 1/4 ounce American Gold Eagle recently. I think that was 1885. I was happy about that because I was scheduled to be buying that one anyway. And at 1885, I think it's a really good point to make that something that feels like the dip, really might not be. So you kind of have to be comfortable with being close some of the time, where close is good in horseshoes and hand grenades. It's also good for precious metals price predictions. So to give you the full picture on the price on this, I paid $70 over the spot price when I walked in the door, and I paid $19.23, so it must have been $18.53 if I'm doing my math right. And I think that's a fantastic deal. I did notice on SD Bullion they have a deal going on right now for this same coin, a 2020 Canadian Gold Maple Leaf 1 ounce coin. They had it for $59.99 over spot, so technically that would have been a savings of $10, but to wire, I think I have a $10 charge. I don't know. One thing I do know though is I'm pretty prone to making a purchase online, and because I don't walk away with that actual coin, I'm instantly shopping again, and I definitely did not want that to be the case after making a big purchase, which came right on the heels of making 2 smaller purchases. I kind of wanted to be done for a little while. But the reason I did go ahead and make this purchase is I kind of hit that magic number. Again, I really don't like to do predictions because I'm just not good at it. I don't think anybody is. But I did have 2 numbers in mind, and one was $1,850 spot, and another was $1,790 in spot. And the reason I was at $1,850 was really just 10% off of the highs from August, which was $2,050. And that's something that, honestly, I was expecting that number, and also honestly, I'm expecting that 1700s number. But I was really expecting it to come on news of a vaccine. I thought it would be a little bit further out. And I mentioned this earlier. I do think that when we get that, we're going to get that quick drop on gold. And we might even get it a longer period of time where there's a longer correction. Because gold price has a lot to do with investor excitement. And if the economy kind of kicks back up and gets going again, people are going to be less excited about safe haven assets. It just kind of makes, just makes sense. And the reason I'm going after these maples, I don't know if I've mentioned this in a video or I've been mentioning it in comments, is that all of a sudden I have a lot of American gold. I've got eagles and buffaloes, and while I think those are kind of the primary coins that I want to stack, I do need a little bit more international gold, we'll call it. And Canada, being our next door neighbor, it's a little hard to call that international gold, but it's 24 karat. It's just a fantastic, well-known coin, and it's one that I think would do really well outside of the States. This lighting is not doing the coin justice, so I'm going to try a different angle. Hopefully this will do a little bit better job. Beyond all that, beyond the liquidity of this coin outside of the States and inside the States, it's just a fantastic looking coin. I love everything the Royal Canadian Mint puts out. It drives me a little nuts that it's a 30 millimeter coin versus the 32 millimeter American coins. That's just a dumb thing in my brain. Other than that, I love the coin. So why am I buying now? I've mentioned in 2 consecutive videos that I think the price predictions that people are putting onto YouTube are just far-fetched and really not based in reality. And I also just mentioned that I could see gold going down to 1700s, maybe even 1600s. And that is something that really depends on a lot of factors. So I think you should always consider that there are going to be outside factors that you can't control that are going to affect the price. They're going to push it up. They're going to push it down. And there's just no way to predict which direction it's going to go because you can't predict those factors. But you can set bookends, so where you think the high will be and where you think the low will be, and you can plan against that. And you can also set price triggers that are going to make you maybe make a purchase a little bit earlier. That's what I did with that 1850. I also mentioned a 1790 number. But mostly there's just a little bit of a feeling at play. I don't know if other people get this, but you're out driving and you see a stoplight and you just have a feeling that it's gonna turn yellow. That whole green light, yellow light, red light. And so you speed up. You don't want to get caught in the amber. You don't want to get caught in the red. Well, that's kind of how I'm feeling with gold right now. I feel like we're just about to hit that amber where we have to speed through it, and I'd rather not have that sneak up on me. Beyond this coin, though, I'm back to my quarter ounce a month routine, or at least I imagine that I'm back to my quarter ounce a month routine. That's assuming that we stay above that 1790 number. I really want to see what happens with the elections in November before I really do anything crazy. And I don't want to give the wrong impression because all the numbers that I've been using, the 1700s for instance, are behind the moving average. So that would seem like that would be a big bear market indicator, but probably we could shoot back up. Just looking at the spot price over the last few hours, it's actually started to go back up. I don't get too caught up in those fluctuations, certainly not intraday fluctuations, because that's just crazy. You can drive yourself nuts watching spot price of gold and trying to plan the right time to buy or the right time to sell. The same thing goes with silver. You just can't do it accurately. There's no way. I think the best thing you can do is just set a routine that you can stick to, something that with a little bit of discipline you're always going to hit. And if that doesn't meet up to the goal that you're trying to make, say in the course of a year, then you make up for it sporadically when all the conditions are right. I have a lot of comments lately asking, effectively asking what the right time to buy into gold is. Is it too late? Is it too early? And it's a really hard question. I look at it and I think that if you dollar cost average and you come in a little bit at a time, any time is the right time to get into gold purchasing. But what's going to happen to gold is it's either going to go up or it's going to go down. I mean, Captain Obvious stuff right there, pure genius. But depending on the election, depending on the vaccine, depending on a bunch of different factors, it's either going to correct for a while, again, as attention kind of gets sucked elsewhere, or if things just continue to get worse, gold prices are going to continue to go up. Either way, the thing that you need to remember is that over the long period of time, gold goes up. So if it corrects down and it stays down for a little while, it is going to come back up. So when a person asks, is it the right time to get into gold, and they haven't actually purchased before, I think you have to be a little bit careful, because there's about a 50-50 chance that we're going to see a correction over the short term. So I can't tell you the timing on that stoplight, but my my instinct is that I want to adjust my pace. I maybe want to speed up a little bit, so I sail through it green all the way. I just want to say one more time though, don't let this video make you feel like you need to rush out and buy something. That's not at all what I'm trying to accomplish here. I sold off a little bit of gold not too long ago, and so I'm behind where I want to be. So I'm doing a little bit of makeup, if that makes any sense. So these one-off purchases of 1 ounce gold coins, really, that's something that I'm doing to kind of catch back up. If you are buying though, this price drop has to feel pretty good. And if you're wondering which coin to buy, these maples are fantastic. I live in the United States, and I would say that American Gold Eagles, that's going to be your #1 coin. Gold Buffalo is your #2, and the Canadian Gold Maple Leaf is, for me, #3. So what do you think? Did today and yesterday feel like a buying opportunity, or is there a lot more to come? As always, I'd love to hear what you're thinking in the comments section, so let us know what you think. And if you don't mind, hit that like button. Have a great day.